Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we'll be talking about the Laifen toothbrush and the Oral-B toothbrush, Oral-B Series 9, IO Series 9 I believe it's called. If not, I'll put a text below to correct the model number. But I want to talk briefly about why I switched from the Oral-B, which in the time I bought was like, what, $400-ish? Something like this. Canadian, compared to why I switched to the Laifen right here, which is only around 100 bucks. So why I switched from the more expensive one to the cheaper one. So first things first, I decided to switch mainly because of the price of the brush heads, because the price of the brush heads on the Oral-B is getting way more expensive than the brush heads for the Laifen. Like, I think for a pack of 2 or 3 it's like $40, and this one was like $30 for a pack of 6. I'll put images just to show you the comparisons. I'll put it on the screen right now. In the long run, it's going to cost me much less than the Oral-B. So that's one of the main reasons. The second reason is that this one, once you do switch toothbrush, the brush head, it's pretty quiet. And then maybe after a week or so, it starts to become louder and louder, and it actually gets pretty loud. It's not as quiet anymore. Once you change the brush, or a week or 2 weeks in, it starts to become really loud again. Versus this one, it's been silent all the time, barely noticeable. I'll do a sound test soon, comparison, just so you guys see. But that's one of another reason why I switch. And finally, one of the big downsides of this is they're very hard to clean. I don't know if you guys can see in here, but it's very hard to clean inside. A lot of gunk gets stuck in the holes, gets stuck in the bottom. In here, a lot of gunk gets stuck deep in the metal rod here, which is very hard to clean. I take like a toothpick and stuff to try and clean around, but it's very hard, very hard to do that. So it just requires so much maintenance. It gets dirty really fast, and also, I don't know if you guys see, but there's a gap here between the brush and the brush head, and that gap here, a lot of gunk gets stuck all the time, even after the first or second brush, and you have to constantly take it out, clean around, clean in here, and in here you can't even clean everything because it goes so deep without breaking the brush. It's I don't know. And also in the back here there's holes where gunk also gets in. It's at the end of the day, it's a whole nightmare cleaning. Versus the Laifen, where it's very minimal, the gap in here, nothing really gets stuck, and even if it does, like when you take the brush out, there's nothing. It's just a metal piece. So it's very easy to clean around. There's no hidden cracks and stuff to clean. Even in the back here, there's absolutely nothing. It's just one plain stick. So in terms of cleanliness, this is another win for the Laifen. All right, so those are the 3 main points what made me switch basically from the Oral-B to the Laifen. So now let's talk a little bit more about the Laifen here. So one of the things I like the most about this was, first of all, the unboxing experience. Now, I don't have the box with me anymore, obviously, because I unpackaged it. But if you look at other videos online, it's pretty much like an Apple product. So like if Apple made a toothbrush, it would be something like this. Now, it comes in 3 finishes, a plastic finish, an aluminum finish, and this one here's the stainless steel finish. You're just paying extra, honestly, just for the finish. As you can see, the stainless steel one, it collects a lot of fingerprints. So you have to wipe it down. Like, I didn't wipe it down on purpose to show you guys how much fingerprints it can collect. Since I got this, I did not wipe it down once. So yeah, obviously I washed it and cleaned it, but I didn't clean the brush itself, the brush itself down here, the base, just the brush head. So this is all the fingerprints it collects. Okay, but you wipe it down and then it's gonna look good as new. I just really like the stainless steel finish compared to the aluminum. It just looks better in a bathroom. It's like almost like a mirror-like finish. So that's one thing I really like. Second thing also, it has a kind of like a MagSafe charger here. So one of the downsides is that you can't really charge it standing up. You have to charge it laying down, but it's very seamless. It's like a MacBook MagSafe charger. You just plug it in, magnetically attaches, and it charges. So there you go for that. Another great thing about this is that this is like a quarter of the price of this for almost the same features. The only real feature you're missing from this to this is pressure sensitivity. So on the Oral-B, you're gonna get green, white, or red right here to show how much pressure you should apply, whereas on the Laifen you don't get that. So that's one of the main features that you're missing. But besides that, they're like in terms of feature set, yeah, you're missing the screen also, but you can do everything on the app anyways. And yeah, honestly, when I was using this, I never changed the features. I think the only feature I tried once was like the tongue cleaning feature, but besides that, I would always leave it on daily clean. And that's about it. Versus this, and this one, it doesn't really have any modes, but it has like a 30-second timer, and you can, it's gonna like vibrate to let you know that there's 30 seconds up, so you can continue on the other side. And you can adjust in the app how long your brushing you want it to be. It can be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute and a half, as much as you want. You can customize that here too. So there you go. And one thing I really like is the motion of the Laifen. The motion, the way the brush moves compared to this. This one just rotates in a circle versus the Laifen. What's really cool is that it vibrates up and down. It goes left to right. So it's a more natural brushing motion, and it really cleans your gums much better, in my opinion, than this. That's just my personal preference. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you get used to it, I think this gives me a better brush. And again, it's a quarter of the price, so like, yeah. So we'll do now like a sound test and like motion test, so you guys see the difference. So we'll give this a listen. So I'll put it next to my mic just in case it didn't pick up. So that's the Oral-B, and now let's do the Laifen. So that's the Laifen. So as you can see, the motion is completely different, and even the sound. This one, it's almost a brand new brush head that I put on this. I think it's maybe 2-3 weeks of use, and it's much louder than this. And the thing is, when you put a new one, it gets quiet, but then it gets loud, like I said, a week later, where this one, it always stays quiet, which is amazing. So now let's look a little bit at the cases that they come with. So the Oral-B, I'm not sure if it came with the case or it was a separate purchase. You guys let me know below. It's been a while that I have this toothbrush, so I honestly don't remember. But what's cool is that you can actually put the brush in here and charge it via the case. So it has a charging thing. And it's a really big hard shell case. When you open it, you put your brush head, and that's basically it. It's a one-piece kind of book style open. And you put the base here, and that's connected to the charger. So it's gonna charge via the base right here, which is pretty cool. The Laifen, on the other hand, this I did have to purchase separately. And honestly, a case is a case, right? You put it in to bring it around, which is good. This one, you cannot charge it via the case. And second thing, which I didn't expect until I opened this case, is if you see here, it's actually a completely two-piece case. So like, it's not connected like book style. It's completely removable, which I would have preferred if it was connected, to be honest. You cannot keep it in one hand. You have to put this down. So it's minor inconvenience there. I'm just nitpicking. Besides that, in the case, it's basically the same. You have the brush and the brush head. That's basically it. And again, to close it, you have to bring this all over here. And so it's a little, it feels nice, the case. I would say it feels a more premium plastic compared to this. But in terms of functionality, I give it to the Oral-B. It's much more functional. This case, just press the button, pop it open. Much easier. A couple other things I wanted to mention with these brushes that I've noticed while using them. This one, when you brush your teeth and occasionally you hit with the back of the brush, it is a very weird sensation and you have to get used to it. It's like a clacking kind of sensation. It's not very pleasant, versus this one, you feel it much less. It's more of a soft plastic in the back, so you feel it much less. But I heard that this year they redid the brush heads to make it a softer material. So I think that problem is solved the minute you would order new brush heads. But if you're still stuck with the old ones until you replace them, yeah, you're gonna have that clacking sensation a little bit, which is a little bit unpleasant. Battery wise, I think they're both around the same longevity. Although I think the more I use it, the more I would give it a slight edge to the Laifen. I think I have to charge it a little less, especially over time. Now this is new, this is used, so it's kind of hard to compare. But I think even when this was new, this has the slight edge in our real world use. In terms of customizability, I think this one has an edge, especially has the 3D tracking and the app that tracks your teeth. I honestly used it once or twice at the beginning when I got the brush to test it out and never used it again. So the main thing why I switched also is because all the features you're paying extra on this, they're all, in my opinion, just gimmicks. You have fun, you play around with the modes, you play around with the 3D tracking, and then after all, it just becomes more of an inconvenience than something else, where this you just grab and go. One thing I wish this had though is the battery percentage. You can only see it in the app, and even in the app, it's like the battery logo fill kind of icon. It doesn't give you a precise percentage. If I am not mistaken, I have to double check that. Whereas this, you have the percentage right here. I think you guys saw during the video here. There you go. It's 13% right there. So that's one of the main things why you're paying extra. But like in terms of functionality, and I think this one, I mean, it's a toothbrush. This one cleans better, in my opinion, than this. And it's easier to keep clean. Whereas this, it's very hard to clean and it has too many cracks where all the dirt can go in, which this is a really big drawback that I don't like, and one of the main reasons I switched, because you don't feel sanitary anymore and you don't want to clean it every single time. It just gets annoying. So yeah, to conclude, the Laifen, it's much more affordable. The brushes, in terms of longevity, are much more affordable also when you replace them. Costs much less than this. And so, you know, for me, the pros outweighs the cons versus the Oral-B. The Oral-B, it's 4 times the price of this, at least when I got it. Plus, the brush heads are also much more expensive. So you're paying a premium for the brush, plus a premium every time you buy the brush heads over and over and over again. Where this one, I think it's a fair price of $100 for the stainless steel version. So if you get the basic version, or the aluminum version, it's $10, $20, $30, even cheaper than that. I think you can find it around $70 compared to the Oral-B, where it's just one standard price. So you have even options here. And so for me, this is a clear winner. So in these videos, I didn't go into too many details about the app, just because in my opinion, the apps are almost identical besides for the tracking. And so honestly, you just use them to set them up once, and then pretty much you can do everything on the brush for both of these. So this is why I didn't go too much in details about the app, but technically, functionally, obviously the Oral-B has a bit more functionality in the app versus Laifen. But overall, like I said, once you set them up, you don't really use them anymore. And so, yeah. So you guys let me know, what do you think of this comparison? Was it fair? Was it unfair comparing these two? And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, peace.